Okay, so I took a branded Despia deck to a Utah regional, about 135 people. I got 11th, which isn't the best, but the deck performed fine. My two losses were to cash. Um, one of them being my fault, and two of them just breaking on three of one card in the side deck, which after siding became dead. I'll explain it when I get there, but let's just look at the deck here. So three Aluber and three Albaz. Also, if I sound a little different or a little sniffly, it's because I'm just getting over a cold. So, anyway, I feel like this is pretty standard. I like the three Fallen of Albaz just because opening one isn't bad because you can just discard it off Lubellion to get it in the grave. That opens up plays. Also, this card got Ghost Ogred like twice this weekend, which is ridiculous to me who's still playing that. So, yeah. There's that. And then we just have a bunch of one-ofs because it is branded Despia. So let's talk about these three for now, or four. Guiding Quem is like the best card in the deck by far. Well, maybe second behind Branded Fusion, I don't know. But this like lets you play through Ash. Just summoning this and just dumping a Fallen of Albaz or a Cartesia can be enough sometimes. So you just dump Fallen of Albaz, and then when your opponent special summons something from the extra deck, you can just bring back Fallen of Albaz to make him your Jade, or you can bring back the Blazing Cartesia, and then just lets you fusion summon if you have a Fallen of Albaz in hand. So like this card's really good. And then we have Tragedy. Tragedy can search guiding Quem just because it becomes a it's counted as a Despia card. This card also lets you have follow up by like setting Branded Fusion, resetting Branded in red. So yeah, and then these two. These are your branded and lost targets. I'm not playing Springin's Kit just because I don't really like that card. Just normal summoning it feels bad. Don't want to open it really. So, also Mercurier can negate from the field, so you can bring this back off Quem and then get another negate. And then Albion lets you have follow up, and it's part of the combo. So we will I'll show the combo off after. And then the two Blazing Cartesia. You can play one, I like two. Just opening this card isn't bad. Especially, like, dumping Fallen of Albaz is, like, easier now with, like, Quem. You can just summon this out for free. So. And then the two Bestials. Sorniers. I feel like these are necessary, because this is part of, like, the Branded Lost combo, where you can, like, search Branded Lost. Or activate Branded Lost. And then the Sornier is you, like, dump this off of a Branded Fusion, I guess, to dump something like a branded opening, or you could just fusion summon this off with like a Blazing Cartesia and dump a branded fusion. It helps you get to branded fusion. Like if you can get like branded fusion in the grave with retribution, you can add it back. So, and then we have the Gimmick Puppet. The Gimmick Puppet's like almost like an auto win here. The combo, people say like, oh, I'm not going to play the Gimmick Puppet just because if you go for the Gimmick Puppet line, you don't have follow-up, which isn't true. So, yeah. Gimmick Puppet to few people at this regional, like a Striker player, a Plant Rika player, a Gimmick Puppet with them games 1 and 3. So, and then just the Dark Magician for Dragoon. Pretty cool. Anyway, that's it for the monsters. I think there are like 16 of them, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, though. For the spells, we have 3 Branded Fusion, 3 Branded Opening, and 3 Fusion Deployment. I feel like these are all pretty standard now. Branded Opening became a lot better because you can summon Quem now if you already have access to Branded Fusion. Fusion Deployment summons Cartesia, and that helps you play around like helps you play through Ash and helps you play around Infinite Impermanence just because you can chain the Cartesia on your like a Luber summon or like Albion summon or Lubellion summon or whatever. And then just the 3 Branded Fusion. Not much to say about that. And then, so I am playing 3 Nadir's Servant. I was playing Crossout Designator the night before the regional. I was playtesting with some friends, and it just wasn't doing me any good. So I decided just to switch it up to a few cards that help me play around or play through Ash. So on a Dear Servant, you can send the Synchro. I'm not even going to attempt to name that because just butcher the name. But you send the Synchro, and you can add Quem, summon Quem, and that helps you play through Ash if your Branded Fusion gets ashed. And if you've already normal summoned, you can send the Synchro to add Fallen of Albaz, and then the Synchro can summon a Quem. I mean, if you haven't opened up a normal summon, you send the Synchro and you're supposed to summon Cartesia. And then the 2 Thrust, and then the Fusion Duplication. So if you get ashed, you can go triple Tactics Thrust to add Fusion Duplication. And this will copy Branded Fusion in your graveyard. And then I played the 1 triple Tactics Thrust, or Talent, sorry. You search this off of Thrust, so yeah, there's that. These also like act as your going second cards too, because you can like search the talents to help you break boards, and so I also played like 3 Super Poly. I really like Super Poly. I feel like Super Poly broke a decent amount of boards. Yeah, you summon like Fallen of Albaz off of Fusion Duplication or Fusion Deployment, and then just Super Poly. They can't respond. Make a Mirror Jade. Pretty good. And then just like the 2 1-ofs, Branded in Red, Branded in Lost. I guess we can count Gold Sark as a branded card, kind of. So I decided to play Gold Sark over Foolish Burial because you can banish a Tragedy to add a Luber and a Mercurier to add a Blazing Cartesia, which you can't do off of Foolish. And the 1 Call By, and then just the 1 Retribution. We can do the extra deck. I feel like it's not too, like, it's pretty standard, I feel. So the 1 Albion, the 1 Lubellion, and then the 2 Mirror Jades. I do like 2 Lubellion, but I feel like you can get away with 1 now just because of the Unicorn hit. They're probably not going to go after this. This isn't the right hit, so. And then just the other Fallen of Albaz fusion monsters. So we have Sprind. It requires a 1 effect monster that's been special summoned this turn. So if you bring back Albaz from your graveyard using Rindbrum or Quem, you can just fusion summon with almost anything. Rindbrum, you send this off of Mirror Jade, and it lets you just bring back Fallen of Albaz from your graveyard. Also, this is how you break the cash board. You send Mercurier and Fallen of Albaz, and they get banished because of a Rise Heart, and then you summon this. And then a Rise Heart is mandatory, so it'll be Chainlink 1, and then it's a Chainlink 2 to negate it, and you bounce it, and you add Fallen of Albaz because of the Mercurier is banished. And you normal summon Fallen of Albaz, and that lets you just make Mirror Jade. And then this card, you can use this card to bring back like Mirror Jades or Dragoons or whatever. You can also Gimmick Puppet lock people with this. It stops evenly. I think the card's pretty good. I'd still play it even if we weren't Gimmick Puppet locking people with it. 1 Dusk Dragon. Draco Stapelia. This card is like kind of like a super poly target against the mirror because it takes a fusion and a dark. So you just make Draco Stapelia. It also shuffles back like random things. So if you go like into Lubellion, you can shuffle back like a Mirror Jade and a Fallen of Albaz to summon this. So the 1 Guardian Chimera, the 1 Dragoon. Not much to say about these. 2 super poly targets and the Despian Synchro. This is like mostly what you're sending off in a Dear Servant. So and then these 2 are super poly targets. Muddragon of the Swamp. I made this round 2 against Cash, and I broke their board. So with Muddragon of the Swamp, I broke their board with super poly, and then I normal summoned a Luber, and they had to set Imperm. I could have used Muddragon to like stop this Imperm from like targeting my Luber, but I totally forgot, and that cost me round 2. It cost me. Yeah, that was game 3. It cost me the match, which is really unfortunate. And then the side deck, we have 3 Magnemite. never sided this in. I played against like one striker player. I could have sided this in, but I didn't. So, um, so I decided to play like hand traps in the side deck. Nib, round 7, I sided in against a Kashtira player that was playing the Raid Raptor engine, but they sided the Raid Raptor engine out, so this card was dead, and I opened up 3 of them. Game 3, it cost me that round too, and then I couldn't break their board with the Rendbrum branded fusion play because they always had Ash for my branded fusion. And then they also banished my fusion duplication off of a Rise Heart, so it's kind of rough. I don't think I was meant to win that one. But Ash Blossom was not too bad. I played it for the IKEA furniture matchup, which I never played. I played some Sword Soul, played a Sword Soul player, and I decided in Ash Blossom just for more hand traps. And I ashed their Pot of Desires, which was pretty good. Overall, I think I would chain these to board breakers. So, like, probably Dark Ruler No More and the monster that, like, tributes everything that activated their effect. I cannot think of the name right now. Kurikara. Yeah, that's what it is. Probably citing Kurikaras and Dark Ruler No Mores. Also, like, Thrust could search Dark Ruler No More, I guess. So, yeah. These were probably, like, the Nibiru was probably, like, the worst card in my deck. Cosmic Cyclone. People here like to side in anti-spell fragrances against me. So I play the quick play removal to hopefully hit it. It doesn't always work out, but like I can't complain about not drawing the outs to anti-spell if I don't play it. So, and then 3 evenly matched. I sided these in against Cash a few times, but I never really saw it. So that is the deck profile. I feel like the main deck and extra deck were pretty good. Side deck can probably change, like the Ash and the Nibs. Just because in branded Despia you want to play a lot of engine, so you don't have a room for like a ton of hand traps. So I feel like board breakers were a little better. But yeah, that is the deck profile. So I guess now I will show you the combo. Alright, so for the first combo, you need Fusion Deployment and Aluber. There are other ways to get to the combo, like Nadir Servant can add like Fallen of Albaz, and Quem can send Fallen of Albaz, which you need in the grave here, but like, this is just like the easiest combo. You play 3 of this, so 3 of everything here. So you go Fusion Deployment, and here you want to summon a Cartesia. You want to do this first, and then you normal summon a Aluber. The reason you want to do this first is because it does help you play through Imperm, because if they Imperm here, you can chain a Cartesia to make a Luber, or to fuse away a Luber. But, okay. So here, we go Branded Fusion, activate Branded Fusion, and we want to send a Bestial Lubellion and a Fallen of Albaz here. So we send these to the grave, and we summon Albion. Here we go Albion effect, so we banish the Aluber here, and then the Fallen of Albaz, and we summon a Lubellion. And then Lubellion here, we can discard any card in your hand, doesn't matter what it is. And then we put back the Fallen of Albaz into the deck, and this, and we make a Mirror Jade. And then here we're going to go Bestial Lubellion, we're going to tribute the Branded Dragon here to summon this, and then we activate this effect, and we're going to activate Branded Lost. Okay. And then here we're going to go Cartesia to Fusion Summon, so those will go to the graveyard. And we will summon the Dusk Dragon. And then Dusk Dragon's effect will activate, and we will dump a Gimmick Puppet Nightmare. And then, so you want to activate Lost here. So you'll Chainlink 2 Lost, Chainlink 1 Dusk Dragon. So you're going to dump Nightmare off of this, and then the Branded Lost will either add you a Courier or an Albion. So if you do not have Fallen of Albaz in grave, you want to go for Albion to send it. and then you draw a card. If you have a Fallen of Alaz engraved by like discarding it from like a Lubellion, or like you have an Adir Servant or something, or like a branded sorry, not an Adir Servant, a branded opening to like summon Quem to dump Fallen of Alaz here, you can go from a courier and that'll like protect the play even more. But like pretending we don't have it, we'll go Albion, and then Albion will send a Fallen of Albaz, and then you would draw a random card here. It doesn't matter what it is. And then during the end phase, we want to go Albion effect to set branded in red. And then your opponent's draw phase, you target Fallen of Albaz. And then you also want to leave Blazing Cartesia here in the grave, just because you need something to summon off of the Albion the Shrouded Dragon. So you add Fallen of Albaz, and then you fuse these two away, Fallen of Albaz and the Dust Dragon. And you summon Albion the Sanctifier Dragon. So you go Chainlink 1 Albion on summon, Chainlink 2 lost, so they can't respond. Target Gimmick Puppet, and you want to target Cartesia here. So here you can grab like a Albion the Shrouded Dragon to dump Retribution, probably, to get Branded Fusion for some follow-up. And then you go Blazing Cartesia on your field, and then you give them the Gimmick Puppet. So here you still have Mirror Jade, you still have Blazing Cartesia effect to activate. You can even search from a courier if you have like follow-up for another negate here. So that's the first combo. It's probably the safest one. So yeah. And now we can get into the second combo that involves Quem. Second combo here involves guiding Quem, either opening it up or like searching it somehow, or use branded opening to summon it, and then branded fusion. So we'll summon Quem, we will dump Cartesia here, and then we will go branded fusion. So here we will send the usual for the combo, the Lubellion and the Fallen of Albaz, and we'll summon Albion. Here we want to go Chainlink 1 Guiding Quem, target the Cartesia, Chainlink 2, or sorry, Chainlink 1 Albion, Chainlink 2 Guiding Quem, target Cartesia. The reason you want to do that is because you're going to be actually banishing the Guiding Quem for the fusion summon here, and then you just go Albion. You have to hard make Albion this way, and then here you want to go the Bestial Lubellion to tribute Albion, and then go Lubellion for Branded Lost, and then you want to fusion summon for the Dusk Dragon, and the Dusk Dragon will send the Gimmick Puppet. And then for the Branded Lost, you want to search. So for here, you want to actually search from a courier, because you don't need Fallen of Albaz in the grave for the branded in red, because you've already summoned the Sanctified Dragon. And then so during the end phase of the Albion can set Retribution. So here you have like two ways to interact. You have a monster negate, and then you have a Retribution to stop the summon of like a Bestial. So if they do have a Bestial and they try to like banish the Gimmick Puppet, you can just go Retribution to stop it. It stops really the only out. I mean, they can try to go Called by the Grave. That's the only really out to this. So yeah. And then during your opponent's turn, you draw Albion, you give yourself the Cartesia, give them this. I definitely like the other play more. It's a lot less. I feel like it's a lot more safe just because you end up with more interaction. Like you still have the Fallen of Albaz or the Mirror Jade. So yeah, that's the way you Gimmick Puppet lock people on after the ban list. So I had a few people surprised that you could still do this, but it's still really good. Anyway, so that is the video. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.